Hi, you might remember a long time ago I started a series of videos about the secret characters in Bloody Roar 4, and each character had its own individual and they were kind of long and pointless, but I've decided to try again in a more consensus format. And the first character you unlock is Long, who was a normal character in the first game, but in the sequels it got kind of replaced by Shenlong, who was a younger kind of gangster type character, but also turned into a tiger like Long. And Long's kind of a cliche character is a Chinese martial artist with long hair and silk clothes, and he's ashamed of his beast powers. He uses his martial arts and meditation to kind of keep them under control, and he lives in the mountains, and he sits in the waterfall and does all that kind of stuff. And the CPU is controlling all the characters in this video, so don't blame me when the characters that I'm featuring lose, which they do. And Long is like the least interesting of all the secret characters in this game, so there's not much to say about him. And now I'm just filling the time until he does actually lose. Finally! Move on to the next character. Sheena, is also called Marvel in Japan. She transforms into a leopard, and she's like Long, she's not really like a special secret character, she's just a character from earlier games who I guess they couldn't find a place for on the main roster in this one. But like, I think she was a child soldier, and she was also adopted by Gado, who's another character in the game. He's a big-nosed military lion man, and she looks really cool in both her forms, and she's fun to play as, and she's got like really cool throws where she kind of grabs hold of the opponent in the mouth and flings them around and goggles everywhere. It looks really cool. And despite I've built the rest of the time talking about Buttazima, our opponent here, who's probably my least favourite character in Bloody Roar games because he's so stupid looking in both his forms, like a contrast to Sheena in that way. And his moves are stupid looking, and his animations and the way he stands, everything. Oh, Koryu, the Iron Mole, is the first of the kind of special secret characters. He transforms into a robot mole, and there's a reason for that in the story, because in the first Bloody Roar game there was a ninja mole who was an old man called Bakuryu, but in all the sequels there's a young, like teenage boy ninja mole man called Bakuryu, because it's just a title and it got passed down when the original one died. And in universe, I guess, the bad guys made a evil robot clone of the original Bakuryu, and that's Koryu, the Iron Man, and he's got mostly the same moves as Bakuryu, but also with gimmicks like the missile launchers and wheels in his feet and stuff. Wow. Let's get all the way through that fight. That's some timing, man. Next up is Uranus the Chimera, who doesn't actually turn into a chimera. She turns into like a big spiky demon thing that shoots lightning. It's really similar to the final boss in the first Bloody Roar game, but isn't actually very fun to play as because she can only attack in beast form with the beast button, not with the punch and kick buttons. Pressing those just turns her back into a human form, which means it's just really boring and repetitive to play as Uranus, and she's called Uranus, and she's not a chimera. I've run out of things to say about her. Yugo's the main character in the series, turns into a wolf. Kind of cliche. Oh, and the last character is Ryoko, and he has there's a version of him unlocked from the start who doesn't transform at all, but he's accompanied by a little girl who turns into a dog. But this is the version that you fight as the last boss, and he turns into a dragon. And it's really style and substance, because if you played it in single player mode, you'll know that the dragon form is massive, easy to hit and slay, and it also doesn't get knocked down when you hit it, so you can just keep pummeling it to death, and it's very easy to beat, and when you're playing as it, it's very easy to lose for those same reasons. So it's not very practical, but it looks really cool. And it can fly and breathe fire and do all the dragon stuff. And apparently there was a poll that Hudson Stuff did in the early 2000s asking people which animals they wanted to see in the series, and Dragon came number 1.